Newsshooter coverage of Cine Gear 2023 is sponsored by B&H and Atlas Lens Co.
Hi, it's Matt here for Newsshooter.com at Cine Gear 2023. I'm with Sean from ARRI. Now, this is the new CCM-1 monitor, but it does a lot more than that.
Correct. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So the CCM-1, which is our camera control monitor, is really the second device that we have in addition to the MVF2 that's been around for a long time for having access to the full camera control menu on either Alexa 35 or on the Mini LF. So this is a collaboration project that we've built with SmallHD, so it offers you kind of the best of our design and reliability that the ARRI brand's known for, and our really simple and intuitive menu system for the camera, in addition to all the SmallHD software tools which users of other SmallHD monitors will be really familiar with. So yeah, we're pretty excited.
So just run me through some of the things it can do.
Cool, so it's a 7-inch display, it's a 1300 nit peak brightness monitor, and you can actually run the whole thing with just one cable. So kind of the unique way that this is connected to either the Alexa Mini LF or the 35 is with the viewfinder cable, which are normally these yellow cables here. So we can just run it with one cable up to the Rec 709 standard of 100 nits, and that gives you camera control, menu control, as well as the picture and power all through that one cable up to 10 meters, and that of course means that you don't use the SDI ports on the camera, so that you can still have another 4K HDR display connected or a transmitter or whatever you like. So you really get another monitoring output, and you can use it on the Alexa 35 in addition to the viewfinder, because we have two of those VF ports to get access to the 1300 nits peak brightness, which is perfectly daylight viewable. It's a very bright monitor. You would add in extra power. That's what this second cable here is doing. And you also can use it as a normal SDI monitor. So we will have some camera control functionality available for older Alexa cameras like the Alexa Mini or the Amira. And of course you could use it as a focus monitor or a director's monitor as well. So it's kind of everything you know about a 7-inch monitor, and also with extra ARRI stuff like the full camera control.
And there's some special calibration going on here too, so the viewfinder will actually match the CCM-1.
Correct. So we're basically taking SmallHD's panel and using our own kind of color management with that, which is delivered by the camera over the viewfinder connector. So you can't set a specific LUT on the monitor when you're doing that. It's kind of locked out, and it's managed by the camera so that it really accurately matches the viewfinder. It's not a HDR display, it's just a very bright standard dynamic range display. For HDR you would use the monitor with the eyepiece here, and it's kind of nice because you can use them both at the same time. The other thing is that we already know that a lot of people, particularly younger operators who maybe didn't grow up shooting with film cameras, or they just prefer to use the monitor. So of course you can do everything on the CCM-1 that you could do with the viewfinder, so we expect lots of people will just be running the CCM-1 as their main viewfinder or monitor on the camera. So this is the live image, which has our familiar status component overlay, which are these indicators around the outside that tell you what's going on with the camera. Well, they're now interactive. So I can tap on, say, the white balance and then change my white balance here on the right-hand side, which is nice because I can see it, the change happening in real time, which you can't really do with a viewfinder. And then, of course, click to go back here. Same thing with ND. Any of the functions along the top row, I can adjust with the interactive status components. I also have a home screen, which is very familiar to those who've used our cameras before, and then I can basically access the same settings. So I could go up here and touch the shutter, and I get taken to the live image where I can make my change, and then go back to the home screen. On the left-hand side, you can see how the user buttons are set up. So there are 5 configurable user buttons here. And if I go to the top one at the moment, that's the menu. And then of course you're greeted with the classic ARRI menu, which is exactly the same as you would find on the MVF2, so you get access to all of the functions of the camera. There's nothing that you can't do with the CCM-1, and I can use either touch to go through here, or there's a joystick on the back which will take me through the viewfinder or the CCM menu as well. And lastly, you have the classic, hang on a minute. We have the classic SmallHD menu as well for doing all your setting changes, and at the other side of the page display we would have the standard SmallHD Page OS, so that you can add any sort of tools that you would be used to from other SmallHD products.
And there's a new monitor mount and also quite a clever sun hood design.
Right, so the monitor mount, this is the Mac 1. which is the monitor arm for camera, imaginatively named, and it's a friction system. So if you've used our ARRI viewfinder mounts before, you'll be familiar. You know, this one, you can, when it's not locked, which it is at the moment, it will stay in whatever position you leave it. So similar system here, you can adjust it all with one hand. You know, I think we're all very familiar with using a Noga arm on a monitor, especially in a handheld. You have to have two hands. It's super awkward. So I think this is a really nice solution. And then the other cool thing is our sun hood, which is unlike any other sun hood I've seen before. It's like an iPad cover, so it just clicks on here, snaps at the bottom, and then it's basically this like soft leatherette finish, has a micro deer lining on the inside, like a soft suede kind of thing, and then it just snaps together magnetically. So you can still get in here and use all the touch functionality. It's kind of out of your way, but it's, you know, rigid. It doesn't have any Velcro straps or anything. I think it's quite ergonomic.
When do you expect this to start shipping, and what's the list price?
So the list price is about $5,500 US dollars, and we'll be shipping at the end of the month. So we should have a lot of units available, ready to go. We're just finishing off some software stuff at the moment, which I can also show you. But otherwise, yeah, it should be really soon. So yeah, it's great.